We've been talking about who the ancestors are, why it's important to build a relationship with them, and generally in this series or on this channel, the conversation has always been about how and why one should develop a relationship with the ancestors that is one-on-one. But I don't know if I've ever covered the practical steps, the what to do when. So I'd like to do a little bit of that today. Hello and welcome to Sangoma Society. My name is Honey Mabakwa and this is Sangoma Society, where we demystify all things pertaining to the ancestral. I'm always talking about having a conversation, or that the interaction that one has with the ancestors is more of a conversation than a prayer, so to speak. And today, I'd like to speak about how you go about having that conversation with your ancestors. When we speak of the bloodline ancestors and we speak of those who came before us and who have influence on our lives on a day-to-day basis, I'm not speaking about intergalactic guides. I'm not speaking about angels or archangels in this conversation. I'm speaking specifically about the ancestors and how to go about establishing a relationship with them. And I speak about a relationship, a one-on-one relationship, because it is my belief that even between a parent and a child, there ought to be a relationship that is one-on-one, a relationship that goes beyond the admin and right down to the truth of who we are and what it is we desire in life and how we need to be supported. And when it comes to the ancestors, being that the ancestors are predecessors of ours, much like our parents, but with greater influence from beyond the realm, there are certain protocol that we observe when we interact with them. So, how do we build this relationship? Well, ukuphahla is honestly the most consistent means of establishing this relationship. Now, I understand that most of us, when we hear ukuphahla, or most people from sub-Saharan Africa, specifically in Southern Africa, when we speak of ukuphahla, we think of umsebenzi, big things that involve slaughter, that involve family, parents, all of this jazz. But what about yourself, just as an adult, a person who's saying, okay, I need to do this for me, between myself and these people who have preceded me in this realm and whom may or may not have requests and requirements of me. I want to develop this relationship that gives me a sense of my identity. Where do you start? Just on a day-to-day basis. If you've been watching this channel, you probably know what I'm going to say now. That's right, white candle. You start just with a white candle. And in everything that I do, I recommend praying. I recommend praying to whatever God that it is that you believe in, to cleanse your intentions, to cleanse the space that you're in, and cleanse the space of any energies, any entities who may wish to make contact with you for the wrong reasons. And then I go into it and it begins as a conversation. And this conversation is quite a formal conversation. We start by introducing ourselves. I am this person, child of this person, and I call on this person, a specific ancestor whom you had personal interaction with, who has now passed, maybe a grandmother, maybe a parent. I call on their parents, these people, I call upon this line. And if you know isithakazelo sakini, then you can call upon isithakazelo to speak of all those who have come before you in your ancestral bloodline, right down to abaqalibong. And then from there, we say our intentions with today's conversation. Namhlanje nginisondela nje ngizonibikela. I came to just say to you, this is what is happening. Or ngize ngokuvusela. I've come to bring my greetings. I've come to bring an update, to check in, you know. This is who I am, this is who is speaking to you, and very specifically, this is who I am speaking to, and in particular, all those who wish me well from my bloodline. And then I might speak about what my plans are for the week, what my intentions are, how I would like to be supported, where I feel things are not solid, you know, where the ground feels shaky, how I would like to be supported in that regard, where I feel challenged, how I would like for that challenge to be addressed. And then when the conversation is closed out, never say thank you. I say, akubongwa. You could say, ndlondle inkulu. You could say, makwande. But essentially, you close out that conversation. Uthi makube kuhle mhlawumbe. Makube kuhle kube sekubayeleka. And then I switch off my candle and I go on about my day. Now, perhaps you use additional candles to your white candle, those which you have already been using. This is the time to use them. If you use impepo, you're, absolutely welcome to it. If you want to use an offering of amanzi, if you want to use an offering of snafe, some kind of tobacco, on a regular basis. And I'm speaking of ukuphahla and communicating with the ancestors as a regular thing. I'm talking about something you might do weekly, something you might do bi-weekly or monthly, that which gives you the sense of having this relationship with your ancestors, this thing that's going to put you in touch with your ancestors. Because it's not every single thing that requires for you to either wait for your parents to say that something needs to be done at home, or for inyanga to tell you that you need to do something. No, you have every single right to commune and communicate with your ancestors. And why is there this protocol that should be observed? Why are we introducing ourselves? You want to be clear on who it is that you're speaking to and who it is that is doing the speaking. The ancestral realm is a broad place, so we bring things down to particulars. We bring things down to the specifics. And then in terms of Makosi, what do I wear? And when do I do this? If you've been following this channel for any amount of time, you know that if you are being woken up between 2, 3, 4 a.m., that is the ideal time to be doing this. That's the ideal time to pray. That's the ideal time to phahla as well, to have conversations with the ancestors. However, if you're saying this is just a weekly engagement that you'd like to do, then I would advise either 9 a.m. or 3 p.m. Those are the ideal times. Generally, the sun is up. Generally, the ancestors are receptive at that time, 9 a.m. or 3 p.m. If you're a person who identifies as female, then I would say you should wear a dress. You should ideally cover your shoulders, cover your crown chakra with a duk, a head wrap. If you are somebody who is representing as male, again, I would recommend that you cover your shoulders, that you ensure that your head is not covered, and that again, everything that you do so kneeling. You don't speak to your ancestors standing on your feet. You don't speak to your ancestors while wearing shoes. And ideally, you don't speak to your ancestors while inebriated. I tend to say these conversations resemble in a great deal of particular elements the kind of conversation that we tend to have with our parents, that we have some level of formality when engaging with our parents, and it is the same when engaging with the ancestors. And if you want to know more about candles, please have a look at the video connecting with candles. And if you like to know more about using impepo or what impepo is, have a look at the video impepo protocol. And if you'd like to know why it is at all that you should even be communicating with your ancestors, please have a look at last week's video, which was who the ancestors are and why we should have a relationship with them. Mina ngingumakhosi uNomabutho. I am Honey Tell a Story on all social media networks, and this is Sangoma Society, where we aim to demystify all matters pertaining to the ancestral. If this is your first time on this channel, please make sure you subscribe. Share this video with anyone who you think could benefit from it, and join us in the comment section if there's any questions that you have pertaining this topic that I haven't touched upon today. Please go ahead and ask that question in the comment section below. Be sure that if your question is straying a little longer than 2 or so sentences, it's very likely that what you need is an appointment, in which case the appointment details are right there in the description box below this video. Until next week, I'll see you in the comment section. Makos.